been lit, boy. Everything goes.
We now return you to regular programming.
On the phone today, we have a special guest. We have Rudy on, and Rudy is a diehard stepbrother to Gary Sanchez, and he's gonna come on here and he's gonna defend his catcher. But Rudy, what the hell is going on with the Yankees, man?
I have no clue. I mean, it could be bad management or either the injury bug. I don't know what's going on.
I watched them today at work, and Paxton was cruising, man. He had like 8 strikeouts through 5 innings. He came out, he fucking walked the first batter, walked the second batter, then gave up a double. I'm like, here we go. And then it was over. Before you know it, it was over again. It's frustrating.
I was watching a little bit of the game. I think he had it was his first 5 strikeouts where he was cruising.
Oh yeah.
And then I stopped watching and I see how many runs they started giving up. I was like, what is going on? I left it 4-4, and then I saw we're losing 8-4, 10-5, something like that. It's crazy.
You know what's tough is the Yankees, 16-9, we're 1 game out of first. It's a bad time to get cold because in the rear view mirror, Toronto is winning. And they're right there. You cannot just 60 games, man. I've told you this season is going to be very interesting because it's 60 games and it's by winning percentage. And dude, I don't know, it's a bad time to lose, especially to division guys.
The thing that aggravates me the most is what we went through last year. We're going through again this year.
Especially with injuries.
We have the most guys on the IL. We have 10 guys since the start of the season who have been on it. We have 7 now, and we have 3 more that possibly might be going back on it again.
Yeah.
Fire the freaking trainers, man.
That's like Judge said he was 100% and the trainers didn't want to go, but something needs to change because it's getting freaky in there.
And this is where I said that they were kind of going to regret letting Didi go because we could use Didi right now.
And my thing with Torres,
especially as a presence in the locker room too.
Torres is a great player.
He's not a good shortstop. He leads the league in errors.
And I think he's struggling mentally because they moved him to the lineup, and I think he's trying to do a lot more than what he is because he's a great hitter, especially how young he is. But I like him at second.
He's starting to heat up.
I like him at second base. I miss Didi. I do. I loved Didi. I love their combination they had together.
We have to go all in for Trevor Story next year.
And we could. And my thing too is
I still want Lindor.
I still want Lindor too. And it's like I love DJ, but I for some reason I don't want DJ at short.
No.
You can always put Gio there, and you can put Estrada at third base.
Or you could put DJ at third base.
I don't know. But you know what? I feel like we're going down that same road again. We can't beat Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay has our number. I mean, for some reason, we can't do anything good against them.
No. But one thing I can say I love about the Yankees is, especially like last year too, the team is struggling and you're having guys step up. Luke Voit, he's on fire right now. He's leading the team with 10 home runs right now.
Well, him and Urshela, they're the only guys that are producing runs right now.
It's. I was always a Greg Bird fan. Obviously, that didn't happen.
I don't know what happened to that guy.
No.
I forgot about.
He's playing with the Rangers, I think now.
They cut him, I think.
But when we first got Voit, I was like, all right, here we go. This could be another guy. Then he dealt with injuries last year, but he's heating up again this year. And ever since Teixeira left, we haven't had a solid starting first baseman that stays there for a while. I mean, even with Teixeira, we dealt with injuries, but Voigt's stepping up, man.
Well, I think Voit set a record today. Well, he's one of a select few that have had 10 home runs in 20-some games or something like that.
He's batting 311, 20 home runs. Not 20 home runs, 10 home runs leading the team.
That's it. I mean, he's been stepping up. I give him his props. I thought he was going to kind of be like Chris. I don't know if you remember Shelley Duncan.
Mm-hmm.
The left fielder that heated up for a couple of months. That's what I thought Luke Voit was going to be like. But he's been consistent lately.
And you know what's awesome about him? His defense. He thinned down a lot, and his defense is amazing at first base. He's playing a lot better.
Yeah.
But
he's improved immensely.
You see a lot of these guys growing their hair out, Tyler Wade and Voit. They're trying to get a little bit of flow going.
Cole's pushing the whole beard thing a little bit, and he's pushing that Yankees guideline they have there.
But Garrett Cole comes over, and he's always had the baseball flow. Obviously a little longer in Houston. But he still got it there. And you see Tyler Wade growing his hair out, who had short hair. Voit always shaved his sides of his head. He's growing his hair. I'm like, what's going on here? Are they loosening up a little bit with these restrictions?
Well, the thing
I think more because of COVID, they can't really go out anywhere. They
That's
don't wanna
true
go to
too.
any
That's true
barber
too.
shop.
I didn't even think about that.
the thing that aggravates me the most about the Yankees is they're 15-3 against the rest of the league. They're 1-6 against Tampa Bay. Let's face it, Tampa Bay.
We've always had a hard time
Tampa
with
Bay's
Tampa Bay.
won 5 in a row now. I think they're like 13-3 in their last 16 games. They're hot.
Oh yeah. And we thought they were going to struggle a little bit when they traded Pam.
And this is the situation we're in now. What do the Yankees need? I personally think we need
pitching.
we
pitching.
definitely need pitching. Hap's Hap's last start was good, but you know what? He's up and down.
I never liked Hap. I nothing against the guy. I just when he's on the mound, I do not feel confident.
Paxton. He's only averaging 91 miles an hour between his starts on his fastball.
He used to throw 96 to 97.
So he's having arm problems. Now he has forearm problems. He's getting an MRI.
I still don't think he's fully recovered from that last surgery.
I don't either.
No.
I don't either.
And then there's Tanaka, who one day you get an ace, the next day you don't know what you're getting.
You know what sucks too is you have Garrett Cole who's pitching amazing. Did he get his first loss yesterday? By the way,
because we tied it up.
Nah.
good for him. You have him, solid option. Tanaka, I always feel confident with Tanaka, even though he struggles sometimes. Imagine if we had just Severino right now, man. Gosh, do I miss him right now? Having that three would be incredible on the Yankees right now.
Yeah, that was tough to lose. I mean, he was kind of a little inconsistent too.
Oh, yeah, definitely, but...
Well, let's face it now. This is 2 years in a row. He's going to miss a full season.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially after he got his money.
What's the word on Herman? Herman can't come back, right? Because he suspended 60 games.
He's going to miss the whole season.
He's not coming back this year. Yeah.
Now, what about playoffs?
That sucks too.
No.
I think for the playoffs he's out too.
That sucks, man. Hey, at least it's not a full season. Me only miss.
I think you got to start pitching these younger kids. I really do. I think you got to, because I think Hap, Tanaka are free agents, Paxton and Tanaka are free agents next year.
Tanaka free agents, yeah.
So
honestly,
you got to start pitching these kids.
Would you let Paxton walk and go after someone better?
It all depends what he can do.
Because now, why are we bringing Garcia?
Trevor Bauer's a free agent next year.
I like Bauer.
Yeah, no.
He's leading it.
The other kid was killing it too. Clark Schmidt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think his name was. He was killing it in the beginning of the year.
You got to throw these kids.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Bauer is throwing like a .84 ERA right now. Do you have that? You have that stat?
The one who annoys me is Sonny Gray.
Dude.
He was killing it.
Yeah, but
Cincinnati.
he said that the pitching coach for the Yankees made him throw. I forget what pitch it was. I don't know if it was curveball more. And he's a slider guy, and he is. It's sad when people leave the Yankees, man, and they do 10 times better. And I feel like it happens a lot because guys just can't handle the pressure in New York. I get it. It's a big stage to play on, and certain guys can play. But the Reds in general, it is cool to see the Reds good again.
Yeah, no, they have a lot of talented people on that team.
Now, Rudy, as you know, you're diehard. You listen to our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
You know we were talking about trades, and we were talking about Andujar and Sanchez putting them in a package deal and getting a pitcher. Would you pull that? Would you pull that trade if you had to? Don't get me wrong. I know Sanchez is your guy, but you have to come to a point where it's the same old song with him.
And I want to clear some air here, Rudy. Okay, I don't want you to think we hate Gary.
We don't.
I've always wanted Gary to live up because you get this glimpse of Gary sometimes, and you're like, he could be the best catcher in the league. But it's just frustrating as a fan, like just seeing him constantly be inconsistent. That's my biggest argument with him right now.
Well, it brings me back to kind of like the training staff. I don't want to put the blame on them, but if you look at all these players on the team, there's a lot of players that are really inconsistent, not coming into shape, and are just performing really bad. I don't know what it is. I think that could be a part of it. I don't know what's going on. I think that's a possibility. Because you look at Aaron Hicks, Gleyber Torres, all these players are just struggling out of nowhere mightily.
But see, my thing is they keep messing with him behind the plate too. Now they have him down on one knee. I don't get that either. That's dumb. He still has a lot of pass balls. He had one the other night where he put the winning run on second. They ended up advancing to second and third. To me, I just think it comes a point where you have to decide. Do you want him to be your catcher? He's got a history of injuries with his back and his groin and everything else. Do you make him a DH?
But that goes with the coaching staff too. You have a guy who struggles with pass balls. You think of the pitching staff he's catching for in the bullpen. Why are you having him go down to an E?
Dude, and I didn't realize Hickey's on the DL.
I didn't either. That's
he's
news to
on
me.
DL. That's what I had Kratz
Kratz.
playing today.
Freaking looks like an old man.
But he's 5 of 9.
He's like 40.
Hey, he's 5 of 9, man. He's hitting the ball. He's batting like 375.
Yeah, my thing is if you could somehow move move Stan, right? Because
Stan's that's a bad contract.
what sucks is
That's what I think that messes everything up is Stanton.
it sucks
can't
to
put
Stan
players
is
in DH
you
for
have to
left field.
you have to play him because of how much money you're giving him. It's like when he's healthy, he does
And
he does well.
And you know what sucks? He doesn't even perform enough where you can trade him. No one in their right mind is going to pick up that contract.
So in my mind, if you find some crazy person to take him, you could move Gary to DH, let him focus on batting, like almost like a Nelson Cruz situation. All right.
Yeah.
Then you go out and just trade for some middle guy that can do well for us right now until these young guys we drafted come up and hopefully one of them can do well. I don't know.
But see, the problem is the Yankees have themselves screwed with contracts again. You gave Hicks that extension. You can't move him. No one's going to pick him up. He's never healthy either.
I like Hicks though right now.
You have Clint Frazier, who they're saying is going to be a trade piece. That is foolish. Nothing against I love Gardner.
My
Gardner
favorite player,
is one of my
but
favorite players.
it's Frazier
but
time.
You got to set him. He can't play no more. You guys, you're in a short season. These guys are not getting on base. You don't have time to mess around.
It's time for Gardner to be, and I'm
He can't play every day.
I'm the biggest Gardner fan here probably. But Gardner, it's time for him to be the backup guy now.
Talkman and Frazier have to play.
Yes,
Yeah,
especially with
Talkman and Frazier, I agree.
yeah.
I definitely have to get
Talkman.
him.
I don't know where the heck this guy came from. I love Talkman.
I mean,
love
Hicks is
Frazier.
another one, 0 for 4 today.
Yeah, I see that. But the thing is, I love Hicks' defense. And I know that's tough to say because, you want a guy that bats, and that's true. I get it. I mean, if you're not performing, you got to sit. It's like I said, it's 60 games. We have to win.
Yeah.
I would not want to be a coach right now. You have these big contracts, these big names. Who do you want to sit? Who do you want to start?
You have to look past these contracts, and you got to play your hot bats.
I know.
Just like Judge. Judge said he didn't want to go on the IL. Then they should have fucking left him off because you know what? He was hitting the crap out of the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he was probably in the MVP voting.
And I'm fired up because I dropped 2 F-bombs already in the first 10 minutes of this podcast.
I think going into this offseason too, DJ LeMahieu is a huge piece that we need to
That's our
re-sign.
best bat.
I mean, the guy took less money to come to New York. He wanted to come to New York. I'd be talking to his agent right now.
But now
He's batting 411 again.
But now he's out 2 to 3 weeks. Same injury he had in Colorado.
What injury?
Something with his thumb.
Oh no, I
yeah,
saw
that's
that.
right.
Didn't he take a ball off it or something?
No, they're calling it a sprain, but he had the same problem in Colorado is from swinging, and it's probably something with the ligaments or something in his thumb. This is twice now in the same injury.
That's fine. That's nothing.
It's nothing,
It's gonna
but
be okay.
yeah.
This guy should have got MVP last year. I mean, I think the only reason he truly doesn't get MVP is because his name's not a Mike Trout, a Mookie Betts, like a real big name that you see on Instagram highlight reels. But the guy's batting 411 again, and I mean he batted 390 last year.
I just think they got to think of something because right now, if you look at this team, they're not winning a championship. They really aren't. They're not with this pitching rotation.
I just hate every
Not
year that we have
even-
this best team on paper, and last year we got 10 injuries. This year we're dealing with injuries now.
But even our bullpen, what's up with Ottavino?
Avino's got killed today.
Yeah, and with Avila, that young kid, he gave up 4 runs in the 7th. Yeah, so, you know what, man.
How's Loizaga doing? I haven't watched him yet, or much of him.
Who?
Loizaga.
I saw him pitch twice, and he's pitching pretty good. Sessa's got to go. Sessa's a cesspit.
Nah, Luis Sessa should have been
He's
gone a long
garbage.
time ago.
You know what? I would start Loaiza. I really would. His fastball is way up in the upper 90s. He'll hit 97, 98, and he has an 84-mile-an-hour changeup. I would start him.
You know what's
Yeah, he had good stuff.
what's
That
interesting
was a
too
game
is
when I went to see them. It was him pitching. He pitched against the Rays. He won 5-1.
You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of Ivan Nova.
Yeah. No, was
Isn't-
for us for a little bit.
isn't Stroman a free agent after this year?
Yeah.
He opted out, right?
Yes.
So that lowers the value of your contract. You think about it, who's going to give you a lot of money when you didn't pitch a
He
whole year.
He wants to stay in New York too.
So you think about it, I think he wanted to come to the Yankees too. Think about it, he took a year off. That means he's healthy.
Because
He's probably not going to want a lot of money because he took a year off. Give him a 2-year, 3-year deal. Come pitch with Severino, Garrett Cole, and Tanaka. Oh my gosh.
Well, Jordan Montgomery and Cole. Those are your 2 pitchers.
Montgomery's pitching good.
Yes. Severino, you don't know what you're going to get with him, so you can't even put him in. Herman now.
Tommy John. Man.
Herman, I love Herman. He won 18 games last year, the year before.
That was a one-year thing that we don't know what we're going to get again.
But the thing is I like him. He has good movement on his
Yeah.
pitches. So if you build around those three pitchers, not knowing what's going to happen with Sevy, you can go pick up a Trevor Bauer.
about
You can
Tanaka?
pick up a Strom. He's a free agent. I think it's time to let him walk.
No, I like Tanaka. Tanaka's always great in the playoffs,
this
too.
is this is
Playoffs, he's losing the money
Yeah.
though.
this is
Yeah.
why Tyler can't be the GM of the Yankees.
No, but let's be real. How many Japanese
in the
pitchers
playoffs,
are pitching well in the league right now?
That's fine. But you know what? How many miles and innings does he have on that elbow?
I think letting Tanaka walk would be a big mistake. And that's not me saying I'm a fan of Tanaka. I'm just saying yeah, sure, he's been inconsistent, but think about all the times we've had injuries and he was our main guy.
When was the last time the Yankees had a 20-win pitcher?
Garrett Cole, he's gonna be the next guy.
Well, I'm just saying before this year. What? Maybe Clemens? Maybe Pettit?
What about CeCe? Did CeCe get any?
Not that I remember.
Nah, he didn't get 20. I think he came close once, but I don't think he got 20.
Had to be probably Pettit.
But the
I
Yankees.
thought Tanaka was gonna get it the 1 year. He started off 10-0.
Yeah.
First season, I think it was.
I mean, but you're not.
No. As long as I've been a Yankees fan, it's always been one guy. The rest are either injured or struggling.
First of all, the problem with the Yankees pitchers the last 3 years is those starters can't go more than 5 or 6
I mean, you
innings.
had Pineda, Nova,
their
these
pitch
guys that
count
didn't pitch
is
that
always
far.
so freaking high by the time they get to the 5th and 6th inning.
Yeah.
Then they wear out their bullpen. You need horses, man. You need
that's
guys
why-
that can throw. Look at Cole the
Yeah.
other night. Cole won the go. He was over, and we would have won that game if they would have left him pitch.
And that's why I was excited when we finally went out. And that's the problem I think that the Yankees have is you think about, as me growing up personally, the Yankees pitching staff, and it never was a set of young guys. You might have had one or two guys in there, but you think about it now too. Same situation. Paxton, Happ. You get it. They get these couple older guys that they get for cheap money, trades, and they hope for the best with their two other younger guys. I think what we have right now, what we're starting to build, like you said, Garrett Cole, Montgomery, when Herman comes back. Severino's a big question mark, but those are some good young guys you could build around.
Nice. Still got the younger guys in the minors too, Schmidt and Garcia.
And that King too.
It's true.
Yeah, King looked pretty good a few times I've seen him.
But the thing is, you got to get these guys throwing.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think about Andujar, Rudy? Do you want to keep him as depth? I mean,
There's nowhere from the.
I don't think he looked good in the outfield. He definitely could possibly be a backup first baseman. We got Ford, who's not playing bad.
Yeah. I mean, for him, just watching him, he just looks lost. He looks uncomfortable. And I think it's just more mentally because he doesn't play third base. He can't play left field. He can't play first. I think he knows that there's no real position for him. There's a possibility he could get traded. So I think that's all in his head.
But you know what I would do now? If I was Aaron Boone, if something happens where Glaber's out for a while, I would put Gio at shortstop. I mean, if you play third base, you can play shortstop. Put Andujar at third where he belongs. Let him play third. Let him get his at bats because let's face it, if that bat heats up, I mean, he was the runner up for the Rookie of the Year 2 years ago.
Yeah, he should have got. I mean, any Yankee gets screwed out of awards.
Yeah. So I mean, if the thing is you got to get these guys consistently batting. You got to get a lineup and you got to go with
I
them.
always liked Andujar's bat. I felt like he had a lot of power coming to the plate. It's just always his fielding. He could field. It's just making the plays. He struggled a little bit.
Yeah, making the throws.
Yeah, because
consistently and the thing.
it would look like he would do a nonchalant throw that he would easily get, and then it'd be over his head.
Gio looks like Greg Nettles over there.
How about that play he had yesterday? It was yesterday, 2 days ago in the dugout.
Yeah, that was nice.
And how about that play? He did a Manny Machado a week ago where he just nonchalant threw it over his shoulder and got him out at first base.
And he's a beast.
Well, back.
I mean, if I'm anybody, I'd be mad if I was the White Sox looking at Tatis Jr. What a stud that guy is.
I mean, the White Sox have a lot of young prospects themselves.
Yeah, I know, but they traded him for James Shields, that bum.
Really? I did not know that. I did not
they had
know
him.
that.
They traded Tatis Jr. for James Shields.
Yeah, but they got Tim.
Look at that
They
now.
got Tim Anderson though.
Yeah, I'd rather have Tatis Jr.
Let's go. What do you want?
Tatis Jr. Let's face it, he's going to be the face of the MLB.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second because you have a guy who's very young. I wrote it down here. He's batting .317, 12 home runs, 29 RBIs, 33 hits, 6 stolen bases. That's MVP numbers right now. Now, this whole thing about the Texas getting mad at him and these unwritten rules, this is the
I'm so
stupidest
sick of
thing
unwritten
I have
rules.
ever heard in my life.
You're not supposed to swing at a 3-0 pitch up 7-0. I mean, that's BS.
Yeah, but if he would have hit into a double play, that you wouldn't hear nothing from the
No.
from the coach.
No. And then the throw at Machado after that?
Yeah, well, they gave suspensions out. The pitcher got 3, the coach got 1.
And then Machado hit a grand slam last night. In extra innings, he hit a grand slam
I
walk-off.
think it was to win the game. Yeah.
They've hit 3 grand slams in the last 3 games.
Listen, the Padres look good. I'm not gonna lie. They look. I don't think their record is the greatest right now, but they're in second place. But you have Tatis Jr., who's trying to build his legacy here. Why would he not swing a 3-0 pitch? Why would he not steal some bases? The guy's a stud. You know, like, if you can't handle the fact that he's hitting a home run off you or stealing some bases, get better. It's that simple. Stop complaining and get better.
So it's like my dad said, if you don't want him to hit a grand slam off a 3-0 pitch, don't throw 3 balls.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's just I've never heard of some stupid ass rules like that before. That's dumb. That is absolutely stupid. So you don't want this guy to go up there and swing until he sees his first strike. Well, guess what? It's baseball. Get him out. Get him out.
Yeah, it's competition. You're trying to beat him anyway. I don't care how much we could be up by 100. I'm still gonna do the same thing.
Hey, that's how I
Trying to
coach,
beat you.
man. 0-0 to the last out.
My thing too is, like, as a pitcher, like, why do you gotta take it out on the next guy? Like, it's your fault that he hit a home run. Like, he got you. It's
San Diego is 14-12. They're 4 games out in second place behind the Dodgers.
Dodgers, man.
Man, that's a tough division because
Dodgers.
San Diego, Arizona, and Colorado. Colorado lost 4 in a row, man. But they're all 4 games out of first place.
Yeah, well, the power rankings came out. Dodgers are number 1, the Yankees are 2, and the A's are number 3.
Yankees will not be 2 in the next one. It's going to be Tampa Bay.
Well, Tampa Bay's not even the top 5 right now. It's the Twins at 5 and the Cubs at 4. The Cubs have been very good all year so far.
And quiet good too.
Quiet
I haven't
good,
heard
yeah.
much
You're
from
not
them.
hearing a lot from them at all.
Yeah, and they're doing good without Chris Bryant. I mean, he's batting horribly this year.
Isn't that weird seeing the A's at number 3 power ranking at 16-6 on the record? Like, remember when they
I
weren't
had no
good?
clue they were doing that well.
Remember how bad they used to be? Their uniforms, though, are pretty fire right now. That, like, light green they have, it's almost like the 80s colors they got going.
You know,
I
it's,
mean,
go
I
ahead,
don't know,
Rudy.
as a Yankees fan, I don't know how much you see. Are you like enjoying seeing Altuve, Bregman, and Springer all struggling right now?
I love it. I think people are saying too much, like Altuve's struggling because that he's not getting the garbage can things. But you think about, like, before that coach even went there, Altuve was winning MVPs. But I think mentally, Altuve is struggling. I don't think it's from the garbage cans.
But
He's missing ground balls like they're nothing.
But the thing is, they're in second place. They're 15-10. They won 8 in a row. They're 9-1 in their last 10. They're winning.
They are.
They're only one
Oh,
game
man.
behind the Yankees.
Could you imagine they just said screw everybody and they won the World Series this year?
Uh,
That would be terrible.
yeah, it
The
absolutely
baseball
would be.
guys need to help us out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Every
that should not
time
happen.
I was watching, like, great baseball moments the other day, and every time I see an Astros, like, walk off in the playoffs, or especially against the Yankees, I fast forward.
Well-
I can't stand watching it.
Well, they lost Bregman today. He went to the IL.
With what?
A strain, some kind of a strain. That was on the bottom line.
I do. I honestly, like, I like Bregman. Like, I mean, he gets drafted and comes up in the same exact year. I mean, he is a good player.
I'll tell you, the team that scares me the most is the Twins.
Twins.
It's a lot of home runs on that
lineup is
team.
stacked.
It's a lot of
Yeah.
home runs on that team.
They
I mean,
lead the league in run differential.
we thought that was tough last year. I mean, they went at it. Josh Donaldson. That's another 30 home runs right there in a regular season game.
Dude, and Cleveland's quietly sitting there, and they're only a half game behind the Twins, and they have one of the best pitchers in the freaking league right now.
Yeah, I was hoping they would struggle to see what happens with Lindor. I want to trade him or something. But I doubt
Man,
that's happening now.
I'd give Andujar and Garcia up for him in a heartbeat.
I would too. He's
In a
stud.
heartbeat.
On
You
the
think
field and
switch
with his
hitter,
bat.
switch hitter at Yankees? Come on now.
Well, you guys, you're the GM of the Yankees. Trade deadline's coming up. It's next week. I think it's the 31st. You can only look at live rosters right now. You can't go down to single A and double A. You can only pick off the main roster and the team that's down in the minors behind them. Who are you trading and what are you getting? What piece is going to fix the New York Yankees right now?
What's tough right now is there's not a lot of guys that are like this who are willing to trade this guy. You know, I mean, there's a lot of teams that are still in this hunt. The biggest name that comes to my mind right now is JD Martinez. I've heard that name thrown around a lot, but it's like the Yankees don't really need an outfielder.
Well, you're gonna have to look at the teams that are in the worst condition. I mean, Washington's in last place, but they're only 2 games out.
But you think about these teams that are like in last place. You know, they might not want to throw their piece away. It's a 60 game season. You know, there's teams
With
that
expanded playoffs too.
yeah.
Yeah, but some of these teams like Pittsburgh, they're 10 out.
Pittsburgh's always bad.
San
though.
Francisco, they're 8 out. You know, Pittsburgh has
But you
pitching
look at
that we
those-
can go after.
You look at those teams like San Francisco. Who are we gonna get in San Francisco?
I don't know. I don't know what they have, but like you can pick up a Derek Holland from Pittsburgh.
Honestly, if I'm a GM right now with how many injuries the Yankees have and the cold bats, I'm looking at Yasiel Puig still. Stanton's out. I need a DH. Why has no one signed him yet? I'm so confused by that.
Yeah, it's true. I'm probably looking more at middle infield, shortstop, second base, because I don't really believe in Tyler Wade or the hero Strada.
Well, you know who would fill that greatly? That Winfield guy from the Royals. He's on like everybody's trade report.
Oh, that's right. He's another one.
He's a great utility guy up the middle.
But I still want Lindor.
Yeah, I do too. I just don't know if
Wishful
the
thinking.
Indians would give that up right now.
No, they probably wouldn't now that they're like pretty much there.
I mean, I'm looking at
Not
I'm looking at Pittsburgh's pitching. I mean, they have Derek Holland.
No, they have that one guy that I was talking about the other day.
Was
That's
it
really good.
Musgrave?
Yeah.
Musgrove?
Yep. But I think the Tigers have some good prospects. It's like who's willing to trade some pieces right now? Because I mean, it's not like we can go give them AA and AAA prospects. It's who's on our roster that we can give up. That's another thing too. Do you want to give up these starter guys?
But I would be looking at like someone like an Andujar, someone like that.
What can we get out of him?
You might have to throw in maybe a Devi Garcia, which I don't think the Yankees are even thinking about
Yeah,
using.
I mean, we could possibly get a good pitcher, but I mean, as much as I'm willing to give Garcia for Lindor, I think I would only do it for Lindor because I think he could be a good pitcher.
But does Lindor fix the Yankees?
Yes.
I mean, that's another bat. It's like he has timely hitting. He's not really like a power bat.
Listen,
is
Lindor to
what
the
our lineup
Yankees.
is.
Lindor to the Yankees. That's an A+ there.
But then what happens when everyone comes back healthy? I mean, you have Glaber at second. You have DJ LeMahieu who's going to be floating between first, second, and third.
Rotate every day. That was your thing you told me about Trevor
Yeah.
Story. We'll rotate guys every day. Let's be real.
Yeah,
If
you have the DH spot in there.
if Gio needs a break, DJ will play. Torres needs a break the next day, DJ will play. Lindor
What-
needs a break.
What's the word on Stanton? When's he coming back? Anyone know?
I thought they said it was a month to possibly 2 months.
Yep, it's official. Britton is officially on the injured list now with a hamstring.
Oh, excuse me, guys.
DJ LeMahieu's thumb is still pretty sore. Let's see.
These two are made of glass.
Yeah, it's been fun, man. It's been a weird. I think this is gonna be a weird just trade deadline. I don't think you're gonna. I think you're gonna have a lot of these teams say like, yeah, we're willing to trade, but I don't think there's gonna be a lot of crazy trades.
Dude,
truly
you know
don't.
who's amazing? I bet Cleveland will never give him up. That's Shane Bieber.
Yeah, no, they're not giving him up. I
He's-
mean, they were saying that there was talks about it, but
He's
I doubt
4-0,
they'll
man.
give him
His ERA is 1.30 with 54 strikeouts already.
up. Jeez.
I wonder if the Mets would make a move with Jacob deGrom.
Ah, man, I don't know.
Nah,
That's their guy.
they're a hot mess. I have no clue what's going on with them.
Well, you know what sucks, man? Cespedes walks out, doesn't tell him. Stroman walks out. You're hoping to have a good year this year. You're still trying to find a person to buy your team.
I mean, there's always Lance Lynn. You can always bring him back again. I mean, that guy's on fire right now down there.
Why, isn't Lance Lynn old? Isn't he like?
No, but he has a full beard now.
He's older. I mean, he didn't do much with us, but
No.
I'd rather would have had him than Hap.
Dude, but he's doing amazing for freaking for Texas right now. He's ranked 6th in the pitching and the starting pitchers. You got you.
I mean, maybe he's one of those pitchers that can't
Hugh
pitch in New
Darvish
York.
is he up? Is he Hugh Darvish?
Yeah, but the Cubs aren't going to get rid of him.
Oh no, not at all.
And then
No,
you
you
have
don't want that contract anyway.
you have Sonny Gray with a 2.05
He won't
ERA.
come back. He won't come back. He'll probably wouldn't want to come back at
Well,
all.
he might probably now because our pitching staff's changed.
I wouldn't want him to come back. He's doing so well in the Reds. Like let him have a good career.
Aaron Nola.
No way the Phillies get rid of that. No way.
Uh,
Well, Rudy, what are you expecting from your Minnesota Vikings this year?
I don't know. It's a weird year. All these opt-outs and everything going on with COVID.
Has anybody from the Vikings opted out?
Our big free agent signing, Michael Pierce, defensive tackle,
Really?
supposed to
Wow.
plug in,
Are you
take Linval Joseph's spot, but he opted out.
are
He
you
has a heart
are you doing
condition or something.
fantasy? You gonna do fantasy this year?
Yeah, I'll be down.
All right, so I actually was. I can get your guys' opinion.
I'm not doing it.
This is actually the message I was going to send out to people, basically, because everything going on, basically getting a head count, and that obviously with COVID, you might draft a guy that might get COVID, and he might obviously miss 2 to 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the risk you're taking by joining the league this year. But I'm saying that in a nice message.
There's got to be, like I said to Ty, there's got to be some kind of, I don't know, guideline, some kind of rule.
Well, no,
because
it should just be a risk. That's a risk you're taking.
But the thing is say you have a team, and 3 of your starters go down with COVID.
I gotta get free agents. You just gotta.
Oh man.
I mean, I can make restrictions where, like, if I have to drop my starting QB to get a backup QB that nobody can pick him up, I don't know. I could probably.
I don't know. I mean, that's gonna be tough, especially when you're dealing with
like,
money.
If you have bad luck to where like half your team gets COVID, then that's tough.
And in that message, I'm gonna put, obviously, if the season does get canceled, everybody obviously will get their money back. But it's just if you want to play, it's a risk you gotta take, knowing that you might have a player or two get COVID and you might have to drop them.
See, this is the thing that scares me, is you see these colleges are opening up now. North Carolina, perfect example. They were at 2.5% positive cases, and in 1 week of school, it went up to 13.5%. You see all these kids walking around, no masks, nothing like that. College football is basically not going to play. I'm just.
Notre Dame was another one too, I heard.
Yeah, I'm concerned. Like, these guys are they're pro athletes. Don't get me wrong, but did you see that story about the I don't want to say porn star, but the Instagram model that apparently went and had sex with 7 of the freaking Phoenix Suns players at one time?
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was disgusting. Just hearing her talk, I was like, wow.
She actually was on the interview, admitted to sucking off 7 guys, one after another, after another, after another.
Ew.
Maybe
she said it like it was nothing. Like, I just did that. Like, wow.
Maybe that's why they were 8-0. You know what I mean?
Man, dude, my thing, I could never.
But that's my biggest fear. I'm afraid that these guys are gonna bring it into. I mean, look what the Seattle Seahawks guy tried already.
Yeah.
These guys bring it into the camp, and the next thing you know, the team has COVID, and
I did not
you're screwed.
That's crazy, dude.
That's my biggest fear.
That's disgusting, man.
Especially no bubble. Like, you see how it's going with baseball right now. All these teams getting breakouts and stuff.
But you see, the NFL did come out that they're gonna try to do a bubble for the playoffs, and so is baseball.
When we talked with John Kuhn on Tuesday, the way he explained it kind of gave me hope, because you're going to have a lot of these teams, they don't travel till the day before. Mm-hmm. So they're not really going to be in contact with anybody.
Well, like you said, they're going to be in, they're going to be out. They're not going to be staying overnight.
There's going to be some teams that they're going to travel on game day if it's a closer game by bus. That way they're not in contact really with anybody. So, like, I don't know. I got a feeling there's gonna be a season.
Well, Seattle came out today and said no fans for the first 3 games.
That's what the Saints said.
Dallas plays them, I think, the 23rd of September. So there won't be no 12th man, baby. I love it.
Yeah.
Well, they're saying they might allow stadium noise though. They might allow them to blast it in.
Oh wow.
Noah keeps telling me that Jerry Jones says he's still gonna have 25% of fans in the stadium, or trying to.
Yeah, Texas is allowing it. Texas is. They just had their MLS game. They had fans in the stands. They actually booed the soccer team for kneeling for the national anthem. So now they're not playing the national anthem no more. They threw bottles at them. And then baseball they want to have fans for the new Texas stadium down there for baseball, but MLB is the one that's blocking that. But football, they're allowed to. They're open for it. And even college football, they said down in Texas, they're going to allow up to 50% of the fans. But you think...
What's another about sports, everything, like, even in sports now, everything's becoming political. Like, I can't listen to sports. Like, I try to listen to sports to get away from politics. And not even sports, everything becomes political.
Oh, God, yeah. The biggest fear I think they all have is somebody trying to sue the league or suing the Texas stadium or whatever stadium you're at for getting the COVID. Yeah. But you know what? Make them sign a waiver, make them wear a mask, and let's roll with it. I mean, if you gave me tickets right now to go to a Cowboys game, I'm going. I'll wear a mask. I don't care. I know what I can do. As long as I'm not touching things and touching my face and I'm hand sanitizing, I'm good to go. I really am. But
you keep people away from me.
Yeah. Now, Rudy, how about your Everson Griffin, man? Going to Dallas, the big.
I saw it. I texted Noah right away. I was like, look at this nice pickup for you guys.
How bad did you want him? Did you want him back?
I did. Especially at the price you could get him at. 'Cause everybody's talking about Jadeveon Clowney, but I think he's overrated, especially for the money he wants.
Yeah, I do too.
So I think that was a good pickup. He's a good veteran leader
Well,
for the Cowboys. So.
the thing that sucks is Minnesota renegotiated his contract, gave him an opt-out. So he opted out this year, but he was making $14 million a year up in Minnesota.
Yeah, I mean, they were going to cut him anyway, so.
But I hope his
they
off-the-field
offered him
issues. I hope his issues are gone.
Yeah, that came out of left field when I don't know, I forgot what he went to, like Trey Wayne's house and showed up randomly.
Well, you know what, Dallas, the Cowboys are known for this, and I complain about them all the time doing this crap. They sign good players for 1 year. They come out, they have a great season, and then they can't afford to freaking re-sign them. Like Aldon Smith, everyone is talking so highly about Aldon Smith, how good he looks in camp, and he's going against Tyron Smith.
I just saw Tavon Austin went somewhere. I forget where I saw he signed.
49ers.
Yeah, they signed 2 people actually.
Yeah, but Aldon Smith is going against Tyron Smith, and he's having a great camp. You watch, he's going to end up getting like double-digit sacks, and then he's going to want money, and he's going to be gone. Just like Quinn.
Yeah.
Quinn came to Dallas, got 11.5 sacks, boom, busted ass, and left and went to Chicago for a multi-year deal.
And also, Rudy, you got another big question mark going on in Minnesota. That would be Dalvin Cook. Obviously, I think we did the math the one day. He missed, like, I want to say 40% of his games or something like that. We had the stat the one game. Obviously, he stopped talking with the coaches and everything about the contract. He's focused on week 1 now.
He has to play.
But
with the
in your opinion, as a Minnesota fan, we said over here he doesn't. Not saying he's not good. I don't think he deserves the big money yet because of how many games he's missed. He's definitely a top 3 probably running back when he's healthy and started. I mean, look what he's done for your team last year. But that big contract, I just don't think is there yet.
Oh no, I completely agree. I'd be scared to give him a big contract. I mean, yeah, when he's on the field and healthy, he could be top 3 running back. But at the same time, running back is a position that you can easily find another replacement for a lot cheaper. And I don't feel like I could trust giving him that money.
And your backup did pretty well. I think we had the stats up the one day. He put up some pretty good numbers. Obviously, Dalvin Cook is somebody you don't want to let walk. I'm very intrigued to see how those negotiations go with the Minnesota Vikings and his agents. Because I obviously wouldn't want to let him walk.
My whole thing is what's wrong with these GMs? Like last year, you have Byron Jones on your team. You know damn straight you're not going to freaking sign him. Why didn't you trade him to the Jets for Jamal Adams? You know, you offered them Anthony Brown. Why not say, here, take Byron Jones.
Maybe they were hoping to
for
get
Jamal
him.
Adams.
Maybe.
We'll give you a 2nd and a 3rd round pick, and be done. Call it a day. And that's the problem with these teams. Like same thing with Dak. Dallas is going to be screwed. You know, if they don't get a Dak deal done, he's a free agent in 2 years.
See, I think coach's mind, though, too, they're thinking, we got a good cornerback. You know, we're in first place. We have a shot here to make playoffs.
That's all fine and dandy. But the better you get and the better he gets, the higher the price goes. Now, if you have a Dalvin
Well,
Cook
I'm talking
who's
about the
complaining,
cornerback situation.
but any position, if you see Dalvin Cook is coming up for a contract and you know you can't afford him, trade him. Trade him.
Man.
Next man up. There's a lot of running backs in the
I know,
league.
but it's like you don't want to trade that. Like you may think he's going to leave, but you still want to give it a shot to
I'm
to
telling
sign
you
him.
right now, if Dallas does not get a contract done with Dak this offseason, you better give him the transition tag next year where he can negotiate with other teams and you'll get 2 first-round draft picks. Because after next year, you can't afford him. His tag goes to $53 million.
You don't want to pay that money. Heck no.
No. And then what happens then? You gave him 3 tags, which is over $120 million for 3 years. He's going to do the Kirk Cousins thing all over again.
And then go get paid somewhere else.
Yeah. So if you don't get a deal done this offseason, you better transition tag him and let him go to Indianapolis or those other teams that are going to be looking for a quarterback. Because Phillip Rivers only signed a 1-year deal.
Yeah. I mean, I always said that they screwed up by not signing him, giving him his extension when they signed Ezekiel Elliott, who I don't think deserves. I mean, he's a great running back, but he's another one that's off the field issues all the time.
Yeah.
Causing problems, being a headache. While Dak's there, you know, he's doing his job and he's there all the time. And then and getting paid a lot less than what Ezekiel Elliott was making. And he's like, nah.
No, 3 years ago, Dallas could have gave him $20 million a year and called it a day.
Yeah, it would have been set right there.
Yeah.
But he's watching everybody else get paid. Jalen Smith, Lawrence, like is that Ezekiel. Like I'd be frustrated too. I was like, all right, cool.
Yeah, Dak's being nice this year. Same thing with DeMarcus Lawrence. They signed that freaking tag. Next year he won't be so nice. And that's when you got to transition tag him. It's less. It's not 37 million. It's less than that. It's like 34.
Yeah.
You can talk to other teams, and then you'll benefit from it. You'll really benefit from it.
will.
But another thing now for football, no more on the field sports reporters like I can't think of her name, the one that we saw up in New York that time for Fox Sports.
That's good though.
They're not going to be allowed on the field on the sidelines. They got to be up in the stands. No mascots, no entertainment, no cheerleaders allowed on the field. Dallas already came out and said they're going to have their cheerleaders in the end zone and the upper levels.
They said no more jersey switching, which is stupid because they're tackling each other all game with
Yeah.
jerseys.
Sean Payton is actually the one on the competition committee that brought up having bubbles for the playoffs. So they're going to find locations and they're going to bring all the teams into a bubble.
That'd be pretty cool.
And-
Like you think about
and they're gonna
playoffs are
keep 'em-
usually cold. Like if you could find like a nice warm neutral field, that'd be pretty cool.
The NBA is actually talking about next year being in a bubble for a season again, but having breaks where they can go home for so many weeks.
See their family.
Like stop the season and then let them go home and then come back. I mean, I don't think people are going to want to be in a bubble for a whole freaking season.
Yeah, no, it's way too long. But as far as the bubble, I'll give them props. The
They went
NHL
well.
and NBA are killing it.
Yeah.
Going really good.
Them and the MLS, man. I think there's been like maybe a few cases. It's been really good.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing about the Cowboys, Mike McCarthy, man, they are so strict with their media people there. They are not allowed to take video, not allowed to take pictures. The players are not allowed to talk about formations, not allowed to talk about plays. Media can't report on plays. They're only allowed to report on whatever they're allowed to report on, whatever McCarthy approves. McCarthy says, we're a new team. We're a new bunch of coaches. We don't want anyone to know what we're doing. And
That's good. That's scary good.
From what I've seen so far, everyone talked about the Cowboys secondary except for me. I said, look, they're going to be good because they're young players. You have Jordan Lewis and Chidoba who's playing for a contract. Chris Richard made them play the player, not the ball. They have 8 picks in 5 days already. 8 picks in 5 days.
It's crazy.
Damn.
The offense is already coming up and they're asking what plays they're running because they're hiding their formations so well, which they were never allowed to do. The defense is looking good. I don't want to jump. I don't want to jump the gun, but I'm excited.
Yeah, they had the Bills, I guess, showing like Stephon Diggs running routes and stuff. And then Stephon Gilmore said, "Oh, thanks for showing me what routes you guys are going to be running this season."
But you know what? Everyone was complaining about that McCoy thing too, where Dallas Cowboys cut McCoy. It was actually in his contract.
Yeah, I saw that.
He had problems with his physical with the Cowboys. He had tendonitis of the knee. They made them sign a contract with that in there. If he has a knee injury, they can actually cut him.
They'll probably re-sign him.
He's coming back as a Cowboys coach. He's going to work with the younger players, and he wants to re-sign with the Cowboys. They have a mutual agreement right now for next year.
It's actually really good. That's amazing, actually.
Rudy, what about the Sixers, man?
Oof.
Garbage.
I mean, I can't say anything. I'm a Knicks fan, but it hurts to watch your Sixers. I was telling Connor that you guys went through, 5 years of losing to get to this point, and it's not amounting to anything. It's just going in reverse now.
It doesn't even look like a good team, man. I think even with Simmons, I don't think we have the players to pull it off. I truly don't. I think all you have right now is Embiid and Simmons. I think one of them needs to go. You need to get some guys around these guys.
You know, when we had Saric and Covington,
yeah, you had all these extra shooters.
or Solova, whatever the heck's name is.
Ilyasova.
We had all those bench pieces, and we had a great team. We gave it away for freaking Jimmy Butler. You know,
Yeah.
Jimmy Butler just basically kicked us in the ass and left. And now, like, Tobias Harris, you don't know what you're getting with him. You know,
He's way overpaid. Like, they were
Yeah.
talking about that on ESPN where he said the guy on the team that makes the most money is Tobias Harris. Like, when you sit down and think about that, like, what? That's crazy.
yeah, Richardson, who never shows up half the time. You have a bunch of young players that just they don't produce enough. I mean, there's nothing on the bench that makes you say, yeah, the Sixers are going to be good.
And Embiid and Simmons would be good together if we had a point guard that could shoot the three consistently.
And you
that
know
can
what?
move Embiid and Simmons around, like get under the rim, pass it around.
You know what kills me the most is we let Trey Burke go. We let Boban go. They're with the Dallas Mavericks, and the Mavericks just upset the Clippers last night. I mean, the Dallas Mavericks should be 2-0 in
They
that
look
series. I mean, they had KP got ejected in the third quarter of that game, of the first game, and they ended up losing by like 8.
He looks. How does that make you feel, Rudy? Knowing he was a Knick.
Yeah, watching Trey Burke and Tim Hardaway Jr. and Porzingis killing it now. Sucks for me as a Knicks fan. We suck.
You know, the Knicks haven't been good since Ewing.
I mean, they had that one year in 2013 where they made it to the second round and got killed by Indiana, who had a bunch of old guys on the team.
I got to be honest with you though, man. Watching bubble basketball, it hasn't been like it doesn't draw me in. Like if I know the Sixers are on or the Flyers are on, I'm watching the Flyers. Like it's something about the Sixers. I was so pumped for them 2 years ago, and last year, this year I don't feel it.
It's tough for me to get into basketball because baseball is usually on. I like watch. I just like watching baseball.
I can't watch Embiid do that freaking fake 3-point pump and then he drives to the hole, loses the basketball. I just can't. I can't.
And you can't even put him and Horford on at the same time because their spacing is terrible. Like they have bad chemistry as well. Like, you figure you have two big bodies down there will help dominate. Nope.
I think they have to make some changes, and I think Brett Brown has to go as well. I don't think he knows how to utilize the talent that he has there.
He doesn't even sound motivated anymore. I heard him like after the game last night. He said he just sounds drained, like he's done.
Maybe he'll even retire, honestly. Not saying I want him to, but maybe he's done with it.
You know, to go through the mountaintop of going through that the process, climbing that mountain to get to the top. And then you
lose everything.
You lose to Toronto with that last shot of the game.
That was our best team, I think. That was the team to do it.
You have two superstars who can't stay healthy, Embiid and Simmons. And you know damn straight one of them has to go. And
I don't want to let him go, but I feel like we have to.
Elton Brand sitting back saying to himself, what the hell more can I do for this team?
Yeah, I mean, he has a big decision to do because he can't sit around and wait because his job's on the line too.
Yeah. And you know what shocked me the most? The Lakers. The Lakers losing Game 1.
It's Dame Lillard time, baby.
Damian Lillard, that team is not. That's not an 8th seed. It's really not. If they were fully healed, they would have been like probably a 5th seed.
He has the biggest chip on his shoulder, man. Carmelo Anthony looks good, dude.
Carmelo.
That's another Nick right
guy.
there. Dude, Dame Lillard needs to be talked about more. I feel like he's underrated. I think people want to mess with him a lot. 61 points, bro, in a game. Like he's. Could you say he's top 3 player in the league?
Well, Luka Doncic set the record for the first time in a playoffs. It's his first playoff appearance. He has the highest scoring, total for 2 games, higher than anyone in the NBA in history. He's averaging 39 points a game and 9 assists right now. Luka's the man. Yeah. He really is.
I have Vlade Divac, where he said he stepped down as a Kings GM or whatever.
And
imagine being the Kings, you pass up on Luka Doncic. That sucks.
Yeah, but didn't Phoenix pass on him too?
Yeah, Phoenix is another one. I think those are the first 2 picks. But, I mean, at least they look good now, Phoenix. But imagine having Luka Doncic with Devin Booker.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Crazy.
But, dude, they're lit. I mean, their offense right now is the best offense in the NBA as far as points.
And you got Seth Curry over there with them, too.
And he's lighting it up. I mean, Trey Burke is lighting it up. Boban is just a beast.
Do you know Boban's parents are both 5'4"?
That's crazy.
And he's like 7 foot tall. How does that even make sense?
Oh, I don't know. Well, and by the way, I forgot to tell you this when we were doing football. The Miami Dolphins came out and said that Fitzmagic is going to start the first 3 games of the season.
Yeah, at least you'd think it'd be at
that
least.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
he's not a worse quarterback. You know what I mean? Like he can play.
No, but
a lot of the younger guys are like in a better spot because you have the Chargers have their quarterback and they have Tyrod Taylor that could play for a little bit. Got the Dolphins that have Fitzpatrick, but then Joe Burrow, he has no veteran in front of him that he could sit down and watch for a little bit, and he has to go in right away. I think he's in a bad spot with no preseason, no real practices like that. He's going to be in a tough position.
Because I think Kyler Murray at least had Larry.
Yeah, Larry. Now he got. Oh my gosh! If I would have known that, I would have said the Vikings would just trade Diggs for Hopkins straight up. Just do it. Got that guy for like a bag of chips.
For real, man. That was for nothing.
That was the worst trade ever. Like what?
That would probably go down as one of the biggest trades in history because think about how cheap they got him for.
Yeah, but one of the biggest.
And not only that, they took a bad contract back in David Wilson or
David Johnson.
The running back, David Johnson. Yeah.
The worst trade in NFL history is the Cowboys in Minnesota, the Herschel Walker deal.
Yeah, thanks a lot. That was great memories. Pretty much gave you 3 Super Bowls after that.
Yes, you did. that built our team right there. Boy, these dogs are horrible tonight.
Worst GM ever.
Yeah. Oh crap,
And they
man.
still should almost won. They still had 98. Yeah, Randy Moss, that team, freaking losing by a field goal to Atlanta.
Yep. Yep.
The Vikings, being a Vikings fan suck. I got the Vikings and the Knicks breaking my heart. At least the Yankees,
Yeah, at least the Yankees. We get our heart broken every playoffs, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, lately.
I think the Vikings are going to surprise you this year. I think they're going to win that division. I really do. I mean, don't get me wrong. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to have a hell of a year because I think he's going to try to show everybody, basically kiss my ass because I'm going to show you I can still throw.
Yeah.
But
I mean, the reason I feel like he'll struggle is because they didn't get him any offensive weapons.
yeah,
He's got more running backs. I didn't get that at all.
yeah, and they want to convert that to a running team first. We just talked to Jeff Kuhn the other day, and he said that they're going to try John Kuhn. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball more. But I think Aaron has a chip on his shoulder. But I still think Minnesota. I think the Bears.
I feel like John Kuhn was our first ever insider because he has a lot of scoop
he's
with
still-
the Packers.
he
He was
still
giving
works
us
with the
he was
Packers.
giving us a lot of info about him.
But I think the Packers are going to be there with Minnesota. But I think the Bears are going to go in another direction. And I think Detroit. Man, I don't know. I
I don't like their coach though. Their coach, he seems lost all
For
the
who?
time.
For Matt Patricia?
Matt Patricia, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good defensive
I feel bad for
coordinator.
Stafford. I think Stafford, like if they suck the first half of this year, they need to trade him. Get him out of Detroit.
He's a good
talented,
quarterback,
but
dude,
that
in a
team just
really
sucks.
bad situation.
But they can't trade him because of this cap hit. It's like $35 million dead cap hit. I mean, you would have to get a lot for him. I mean, he can always come to Dallas. The Cowboys are always about bringing back people, man. They should bring back Tony Romo now we have a good defense. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
Could you imagine Romo with that offense?
I mean, we still got it. I mean, what's it been, like 3-4 years now?
I don't know.
I think at least 3.
I've cried a lot since then.
That's a long time to be off.
Yeah. He's not coming
No,
back.
I don't think he wants
He's
to take
not
another
coming
injury.
I mean, no offense, Tyler, but I think Tyler's done a lot of crying the last 3 years. That's 3 tough losses in the playoffs.
Yeah, man, it's
3
been
years
rough,
straight.
bro. It's been rough.
I always
I don't
know.
know. I mean, you could be optimistic this year.
I always know when the Saints are doing bad because when Ty turns off the big screen TV and goes upstairs,
That never happens.
I always know that
That never happens. He's making a fool about me on air.
No,
right
I'm
now.
not. No, I'm not.
You know why that never happens? Because they don't let me watch the Saints games on the big TV. I gotta go watch it on my phone in my room. Hey, Dallas won't even be playing. I'd be like, can I turn the Saints game on? Nope.
That's
Oh,
BS.
it's gold.
That's BS.
I gotta go upstairs all the way in the attic and watch it on my 4-inch phone. I don't know how big the
Yeah,
iPhones are.
where the internet barely reaches.
Yeah, and it's just behind.
That's what you get for being a Saints fan.
Stays lagging.
It could be worse. We could have him in a basement chained to the wall. Oh, you know what? We didn't even talk about that freaking guy, that announcer for baseball, that Joe Benjamin
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever the hell. What's his
Dude,
name?
when you told me about that, I'm shocked.
Tom Brenneman.
I went back and listened to see exactly what he said. I was like, oh man, I can't believe you said that on air.
Dude, who says that? How does that slip?
No,
How does that slip your mind and
my
come
thing
out?
is what? Who was in the conversation with him before they went live, and what were they talking about? That he
Yeah,
called
you got to be talking to somebody.
because they were in
Sounds
Kansas
like-
City, right?
Yeah.
They call it the F capital of the world.
Dude,
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
how does that come out of your mouth?
Dude, and it's not like he's some small time commentator either.
You'll never get a job after that, probably.
No, Cincinnati Reds already suspended him. Fox Sports hasn't said anything, I don't think yet. But he does football too. You know,
Yeah, I hope I mean, it was really bad and something to say on
That's really bad,
live.
dude. That's really bad.
dude, and you know what's funny? And it's not even funny, but like when he was doing the apology, like someone must have came and said, "Yo, hot mic," and he was doing his apology. And number one, first of all, you can take that apology and shove it straight up your ass. The only reason you're apologizing is because you were
got
caught.
caught.
You were speaking your mind a minute ago, but he stopped the call a home run.
Yeah, that was like the worst home run call ever.
And then he went back into his apology, and then he dropped
Oh,
the
so
head.
he didn't even know the mic was on when he said that?
No, they told him.
No, he didn't know.
So he starts calling the game again, and then during the 7th inning, he starts
I
apologizing.
gotta listen to it.
And he's saying that he's a man of faith, the whole 9 yards, lottie. That's
Yeah,
not
like,
how
all
he really
people
feels.
could vouch for me. That I know how I really am.
And then he basically said, if this is my last game, whatever, and then
I'd be nervous sitting right
after
there like, oh, God,
somebody
I'm gone.
gets a hit, hits a home run, he starts calling the home run, and then goes back into his apology, and then takes the headset off and has someone else finish the game for him.
That's crazy.
He's done. And I think, and I heard this on 105.3 today, that I think they're all going to sit back and see what the the temperature of the world is. Like, are people going to call for his head? You know, if no one really blows this up and says anything, they might let him have his job left. But that's
dumb though. Nah, you make your own decisions. I hate when they like base it off or what does everybody else feel.
What does everybody else want to do? You're the MLB. You handle it.
But you know what?
Exactly.
These idiots, man, you don't realize, and I said this to my kids several times. You have to act like there's always a camera on you, and someone's always listening to you.
See, that sucks though, because if you're busting around with your friends, do you know you had a hot mic?
Yeah.
But that what he said obviously is a little far, but dude, like
Dude,
that
it's not
sucks.
like he was talking about girls or something like that, or something with a bunch of friends shooting the crap, man. He came out and just
called
basically
out a
said
whole city.
Kansas City is a bunch of.
Dude, like that's bad.
I mean, I can't even say anything because someone that could tell you is Noah in front of Ray.
I remember
Ray.
that. I remember that.
And I said a few like homophobic slurs, but it wasn't me being homophobic or anything. It was like I wasn't even thinking. I wasn't even thinking about it. I just said it. Like I was talking about my brother, and then I said the word, and then I looked at Noah's face, and Noah's eyes just opened, and he started laughing. I was like, oh man, my bad, Ray. No offense.
But that was just like one of those. Who was it? I guess it was the play-by-play guy for the Charlotte Hornets. Was watching a basketball the other game, and he typed on Twitter, and he wanted to say something else, but it came up the N-word.
Yeah.
And
he said he wanted to put nuggets.
so he put something else up, and the N-word came up, and it said burp on the freaking screen. And you can't erase that fast enough, because let's face it, if someone notices that you put up a tweet and they follow you...
Well, let's be real. You put your phone in your pocket, not thinking about it, for, say, 5 minutes, and you pull your phone out, you see all these screenshots and people tweeting, oh, fudge, man, what did I just say?
I mean,
autocorrect.
The problem is these athletes, and just like Deshaun Jackson, all these stupid idiots that put stuff up on the media platforms, man.
It takes 1 second, man.
You cannot delete that fast enough because somebody has already seen it and snapped a screen photo of it. Yeah. So I said, takes you years to build a legacy. It takes minutes to lose it.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I was telling people too about that Deshaun Jackson thing. That got me mad because I like how when Drew Brees said something, LeBron came out and attacked him, Malcolm Jenkins, but when Deshaun Jackson said what he said,
nobody said
way
anything.
Worse. Neither one of them said anything.
Nope.
I was like, that's cool. Why don't you keep that same energy? That got me mad. Even with Jake.
My thing is, and we talked about this on the podcast several times now. You're not allowed to have an opinion anymore. Because if you have an opinion that doesn't suit somebody else, you're racist or you're labeled something. And it just drives me absolutely nuts that if you don't agree with something, you're a bad person.
I mean, everybody was labeling me transphobe when I was talking about Dwayne Wade and his kid.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything bad about transgenders. I said you shouldn't let a child make adult decisions.
Yeah. Oh, I remember that.
Adult make that, but just because I didn't agree with everybody else's narrative, I'm labeled as a transphobe. Even though I never mentioned anything bad about transgenders.
Well, that's just like the whole BLM thing. If you notice now, they're in, I think it was either Portland or Seattle. They're marching and they're protesting by the thousands, and they're going into white communities now, demanding that these white people leave their houses.
Yeah. What?
Because
aren't you trying to make the world equal?
Because they're saying that this was a black community first, that you guys kicked us out and took over, so we want your houses.
What is wrong with people?
And the first thing you see up on Facebook and Twitter and all this stuff is, let them come try. I'll shoot you. You know what? First of all, you might be brave enough to have a gun, and you might be brave enough to freaking point a gun, but are you brave enough to pull that trigger? You know what? Stupid people. And it drives me nuts that this world has come to this.
Crazy world, man.
That it's stupid. It drives me nuts. And that's why I put on fucking Facebook that I gotta stop dropping the F-bomb, man. You gotta beat me out today. I'm so frustrated with some of the stuff that goes on in this world. It really drives me nuts. It really does.
Especially lately. What's bothering me most about it, that thing happened, and now you see all these MLB and all these leagues and even companies and everything talking about Black Lives Matter. But you're only doing that because you're pandering to what the narrative fits. Yeah. It's not like it's sincere. Like, oh, you really feel this way. Like, oh, you know what? This is a movement right now. Let me pander to this audience because I want them to not assume that I'm a racist
And
or anything like that.
they only choose to support certain events. They don't choose to support everything that happens that needs to be supported.
Exactly, because where was all this support and everything before the George Floyd thing happened?
Yeah.
There was no mention. You pretty much ridicule all the players for kneeling and all that stuff beforehand. Now it's all got to kneel now and everything. Like, nah.
You know, the thing that kills me is you see all these people that are donating money to the BLM cause. But who,
It's going to what exactly?
yeah, and the thing that, look, I support what happened to that George Floyd guy is absolutely horrible. I support everyone needs equality, and I stand on that. I don't support organizations that do bad things. I don't support the KKK. I don't support the black what are they called, the Black Panthers. I don't support BLM.
No, those are terrorist groups.
Absolutely.
They have an agenda that doesn't go with anything that you're fighting for.
Because
they're just using that as like propaganda to benefit them.
BLM has been around for a while. They're a multi-billion-dollar organization. What have they done for the community? Nothing.
Nothing.
They donate.
Chicago right now.
Yeah, they donate over $400,000 a year to Planned Parenthood, who kills black babies.
Yeah.
So this is crap. I hate all these organizations. I hate all these groups. I hate them all equally. So that makes me, you know. But, you know, it's just, you see the crap that's going on in the world, and it's like we're teetering on that edge of, like, it almost seems like there's going to be like another civil war.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a color race. It's going to be a color battle. And you're going to see people walking down the street that are going to end up getting, like, shot, killed, beat up, whatever, just because of your color.
I'm just tired of...
I mean, like, I used to be naive back in the day. Like, I used to think, well, you support Trump. I would assume you're automatically a racist. But me getting older and looking at things in a perspective, like, hey, you support Trump? I don't believe you're racist.
That's the thing, man. I'm tired of feeling like because other people do things that...
Yeah.
I'm not trying to make this political thing or race thing or anything. That because I'm white, sometimes I feel like I'm automatically a racist guy. And if you truly know me, you know I'm not.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. No, definitely. I definitely know you guys, but just people in general. Just so I know people that aren't racist at all.
Yeah, it's just a very. I feel like it's a very judgmental world right now. Like if you just nobody wants to get to know anybody. They just base each other off their opinions.
But the thing is if people would just shut their mouths for once and listen to each other, you would be able to work things out. But it's getting to the point now where it's turning violent, like that little 5-year-old kid that was shot and killed by the neighbor because he was riding his bike on his grass. I mean, how do you shoot a 5-year-old at point blank?
There had to be something wrong with him. Had to be.
And that's the crap that no one's talking about. No one's talking about these young kids, no matter what their color is, that are getting killed. Chicago especially. It's a war zone in Chicago. And, you know, everyone's saying that Trump needs to call in the National Guard. Call in the National Guard. But what are you going to do when you call in the National Guard, your National Guard gets shot at, and you have American troops killing people in America?
Yeah, that'll definitely start a civil war there.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to take that and make it to a different narrative and flip it. You know how the media is, too. They flip everything and make it look like something that's way worse.
Well, you know what's going to happen.
And you start a war.
Trump ordered the troops to kill the blacks.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. It doesn't matter. But it's just, this is where we are in the world. Our media, you cannot depend on our media for anything. I don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. Man, they can tell you a freaking meteor is going to hit our Earth 3 days from now. They ain't going to tell you. They aren't going to tell you. But it's crazy, man. And I'm glad we have sports back because you know what? That gives us some bit of a break from all this crap in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Rudy,
we definitely needed it. You don't realize how much you missed something until it's gone. Thankfully, it's back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the nice thing is we have it all at once. You know, football starts September 13th?
Yeah, so hopefully all that goes well. I'm praying football goes well because we have baseball, basketball going on right now, hockey, but pretty soon that's going to be over, and all it's going to be is football left. So.
But you notice we haven't heard anything about COVID in football in the NFL since all these teams are trying to bubble.
Yeah. So hopefully all goes well.
Well, hopefully the Sixers lose tomorrow, and the Flyers should win tomorrow because the last time they gave up 5 goals, they won 2 in a row without giving up a goal, so they should win tomorrow. And we can wish the best for the Yankees. The trade deadline's coming up.
Yeah, hopefully they turn around, fix it up, and these guys come back healthy sooner rather than later. Because I can't take Yankees losing. I have nothing else.
Neither can I.
But see, this wasn't a bad podcast, Rudy. I was expecting you to come on cursing us out about Gary Sanchez.
Nah, see, like, I'm fine with having somebody have a different opinion than mine. It's okay. That's what makes this country great. That people are different. So I like to have debates. I don't really argue anymore. Like, hey, you have a different opinion? That's cool.
It's not like, I think what's also nice is we all here want Gary Sanchez to do good. It's not like we hate the guy. It'd be one thing if we hated the guy, we were just bashing him because we hated him. I mean, it's just we love the Yankees. We want everyone to be the best.
I mean, he's got 9 hits out of like 66 at bats. And
5
5
of them are home runs.
5 of them are home runs. So I mean, if you're gonna hit the ball, at least they're going out. You just gotta hit the ball. But
yeah, like I said, I think his defense is just affecting his offense to get all to his head. Like you said, just put him at DH for a little while.
Yeah.
Maybe get some good at bats, and he starts getting more confidence again.
Yeah.
Because we definitely need the bat now, considering half our team's on IL.
yeah, this is nuts. It's like 2019 all over again.
Well, Rudy, we hope you and your family stay safe, and like always, man, #1 fan over here, man. We're happy to have you on.
Thank you guys.
Him and Gibby.
Thank you guys. Likewise.
Him, Gibby, and Mike. Most loyal.
Oh yeah.
Got to keep you guys in the loop.
And hopefully soon I got one guy I know who's working on a graphic design for me, so I'll probably start my podcast soon.
There you go.
I got my mic and laptop ready to go.
Okay.
I was going to do it with my brother, but he punked out on me, so we rolled it by myself. So.
See, I wish Noah would have let me know you were thinking about doing a podcast because I had an extra Zoom that we have, and I actually just sold it. I mean, if I would have known.
I told him for a while, too. I was thinking of starting it. Yeah, like, I bought the mic and everything, so I was ready to go.
Well, what we got to do is we got to get you up here now because we have extra headsets and extra mics now.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be down to go down there.
Yeah.
It'd be a better interaction, you know?
It'd be fun. It'd be fun. All right, Rudy.
So I hope you guys stay safe as well, and hope to see you guys soon.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, soon
Same to
enough,
you,
man.
Hope you have a great night.
Thank you, you too.
Always a pleasure, Rudy.
Take care, guys.
All right, bye.
Big old thank you to Rudy, one of our biggest fans out there. He's been there since day one. Great talk. Great
podcast, a little rant and raving around, moving around from different sports. But I love these just casual talks. We didn't even get into the college football, man. Lane Kiffin came out today and said that the Big Ten and the Pac-12 players should have the right to go wherever they want, and the Big Ten basically said no, players are not allowed to go anywhere. Lockdown in your division.
Oh, let's do
But
it.
this has been the best Father and
Our
Son
video.
podcast in the country.
Yes, it is.
And
Our video did obviously die at the hour mark, so that explains why the video's out.
Yeah, but we looked at our map to see where we're being reached, and we're being reached in Ireland, Australia, even in Russia. The Russians like us.
Russians.
Probably tapping into our computer right now, looking for those nuclear codes.
Not me, you know why? Because I got my little blind here on the camera, so they can't look at my camera.
But it's a true honor and a true pleasure to do this. We don't get paid to do it. We just do it because it's fun. These goodbyes are always hard.
Dude. Okay, listen, no, let's just end this, okay? We hope you guys have a great week. Obviously, we might have to take a break just because we're over our time limit for our website that we've been uploading to. I think it resets next week, so we'll see.
Yeah.
But
if not, it's time to update.
we're done with these long endings, okay? We hope you guys have a great week.
Up on all the platforms.
It's up on all the platforms. It'll be up YouTube a day later, so I hope you guys enjoy and stay safe.
Peace.